Right now, as you sit watching this, 75% of the southwest of England is about to get hammered by rain. And if you are in Londonderry tonight, you are sitting in the coldest spot in the entire United Kingdom at just 2.3 degrees. But here is the thing most forecasts will not tell you. There is something building later this week that could turn parts of Scotland completely white. Stay with me, because at the 5-minute mark, I am going to reveal exactly which cities face snowfall, when it starts, and how bad it gets. That information alone could save you hours of chaos on Thursday morning. Now, before we dive into the city-by-city breakdown, let me give you something valuable right away. Here is your 60-second survival guide for tonight, Monday, the 9th of February, 2026. If you are in the southwest, Exeter, Truro, Devon, Cornwall, grab your waterproofs now. If you are in Northern Ireland, especially Londonderry, watch for ice on the roads from around 2 in the morning. And if you are anywhere in Scotland, bookmark this video because what is coming on Thursday is something you need to prepare for starting tomorrow. Drop a comment right now with your city or town. I will personally make sure your area gets covered in our next update. Right, let us get into it. The big picture across the United Kingdom tonight is this. A massive body of moist Atlantic air is sitting over virtually the entire country. From the south coast of England right up to the Scottish Highlands, thick cloud has blanketed the sky. Temperatures range from a relatively mild 9 degrees in Brighton all the way down to a bone-chilling 2.3 degrees in Londonderry. That is nearly a 7-degree difference across the country, and it matters enormously depending on where you are standing right now. But here is where it gets interesting. Rain probability tonight is not spread evenly at all. Most cities are sitting at a comfortable 20 to 25%. But then you have got these hotspots. Exeter at 75%, Truro at 75%, York at 65%, Southampton at 65%. If you are in one of those cities, you are 3 times more likely to get soaked than someone in London tonight. Do not skip the next section because I am about to walk through every major city, and trust me, there are some surprises hidden in this forecast that caught even me off guard. Let us start in the south and work our way north. London, 8 degrees right now, dropping as the night goes on. The daytime high hit 11 degrees around midday, but that warmth is long gone. Rain chance is just 20%, so you are probably safe. But, and this is the twist, there is a light breeze moving through the city that makes it feel significantly colder than 8 degrees, especially on exposed streets near the river. If you are heading to the West End tonight or walking along the embankment, take a proper coat and slip a compact umbrella in your bag. London is behaving itself tonight, but this is Britain, and you know how quickly that can change. Brighton. Now here is where things shift. 9 degrees, making it one of the mildest spots in the country thanks to the English Channel. But there is light rain falling right now, a fine drizzle drifting on the sea breeze. Rain chance is 35%. The seafront is cold, breezy, and the air carries that mix of sea salt and winter damp that Brighton does so well. Atmospheric if you are feeling generous. Raw if you are being honest. Southampton. Pay attention here. 8 degrees, but with a 65% chance of rain. That means you are more likely than not to get wet tonight. The harbour area and waterfront are catching the sea breeze, which pushes the feel of the cold well below what the thermometer says. Road surfaces are likely wet and potentially slippery. If you are driving around Southampton this evening, slow down and keep your distance. Now, do not skip ahead because the southwest section coming up has the most dramatic numbers in this entire forecast. Oxford, 7 degrees, overcast, but here is the remarkable thing. Yesterday, Sunday, Oxford had a 100% chance of rain, a full 100%. Tonight, it has dropped all the way to 20%. That is an 80-point swing in 24 hours. The old cobbled streets are still damp from yesterday's deluge, and a light mist is settling over the college quadrangles as the evening wears on. It looks like something straight out of a detective drama. Beautiful, but cold. Cambridge, 8.1 degrees with light rain falling. Rain chance going forward is only 20%, so the drizzle should ease. But Cambridge sits near the fens, and the air feels damper than Oxford. The paths along the River Cam are cold tonight. Waterproof boots are a wise choice. Bristol, 8 degrees with light to moderate rain. 40% rain chance. Bristol sits in the path of moist Atlantic air funneling up the Bristol Channel. The Clifton Suspension Bridge is shrouded in mist tonight, striking to look at, but chilly. And now, the southwest. Do not miss this part. Exeter. This is one of the 2 most critical spots in the country tonight. 8.9 degrees with a 75% chance of rain, among the highest anywhere in the United Kingdom. Exeter and Devon are sitting directly beneath a band of rain bearing cloud from the Atlantic. Rain could be moderate to heavy at times. My strong advice is avoid unnecessary trips outdoors. If you must go out, waterproof jacket and umbrella are essential. Country lanes around Devon may see localised flooding. Truro, Cornwall, right at the tip of England, matching Exeter with a 75% rain chance, 7.9 degrees. Cornwall juts out into the Atlantic and is always first in line to greet whatever the ocean throws at us. Rain may persist through the evening and into the small hours. The coastal wind is stronger here than inland. If you are in St Ives, Newquay or Penzance, take particular care. Seas are rougher than usual. Do not attempt coastal walking tonight. It is not worth the risk. Right, let me repeat the critical numbers because this matters. Exeter, 75% rain. Truro, 75% rain. Southampton, 65% rain. York, 65% rain. If you are in any of these four cities, prepare now. Everyone else, keep watching because the Midlands and the North have their own story to tell. Birmingham, 6.9 degrees under heavy cloud. But here is the good news. Rain chance has dropped to just 20%, a massive improvement from yesterday's 65%. Birmingham has more miles of canal than Venice, and that damp chill hanging over the water is producing a thin veil of mist tonight. Watch your step on the towpaths, they are wet and slippery. Nottingham, 7.1 degrees, heavy cloud, 20% rain chance. But get this, yesterday, Nottingham had a 95% probability of rain. 95%. Tonight it is 20. That is the biggest single-day improvement of any city in this forecast. The roads are still damp and puddles are lingering in the lower-lying areas, but the worst is well and truly over. Sheffield, 6.3 degrees, noticeably cooler than the southern cities, 45% rain chance, nearly even odds. Sheffield sits on the eastern edge of the Peak District and cold air draining down from the moorland carries an extra bite tonight. You need both a substantial coat and an umbrella, Leeds. 7.3 degrees, 35% rain chance, massively down from yesterday's 95%. But here is something to watch. Leeds sits in the Erie Valley, and cold air pools overnight through temperature inversions. If you are in the outer reaches around Wetherby, Ilkley, or the Yorkshire Dales, prepare for a light ground frost in the early hours of tomorrow morning. York, 7.4 degrees but 65% rain chance, one of the highest in the north. York lies at the confluence of the rivers Ouse and Foss, making the city sensitive to rainfall. Those of you living in the riverside areas, keep half an eye on water levels tonight. The risk of serious flooding remains low, but the ancient cobbled streets of the Shambles will be glistening wet. Watch your footing. Liverpool, 6.8 degrees, just 20% rain chance, a dramatic drop from yesterday's 80%. But the sea breeze sweeping in from Liverpool Bay and the Irish Sea makes it feel far colder than the numbers suggest. The Albert Dock and the Mersey waterfront are particularly exposed. If you are driving through the Mersey Tunnel, expect some gusty conditions. Keep a firm grip on the steering wheel. Manchester, 7.3 degrees, 25% rain chance. The city famous for its rain is getting a reprieve tonight. But even when it is not raining in Manchester, the air carries a dampness you can feel on your skin the moment you step outside. Newcastle upon Tyne, 7 degrees, 25% rain chance. But a biting wind off the North Sea funnels up the Tyne, carrying a sharp chill that goes right through you. The famous bridges are particularly exposed tonight. Wind chill makes it feel significantly colder than 7 degrees. Now we cross into Scotland, and this is where you really need to pay attention, not just for tonight, but for what is coming later this week. Edinburgh, 6.3 degrees, 25% rain. The old town sitting up on the ridge catches the wind and feels colder than the new town below. A light mist is forming around Edinburgh Castle tonight. Arthur S. Seat and Calton Hill are bitterly cold and exposed. Do not venture up there unless you are very well prepared. Glasgow, 5.1 degrees with rain falling right now. But here is the twist. The rain probability for the rest of this evening actually drops to just 20%. The rain should ease over the coming hours. But, and I promised you this at the start, keep watching. Glasgow may see snow by Thursday. That is not speculation. The forecast shows a significant probability. I will give you the full details in just a moment. Aberdeen, 6.8 degrees with rain, 35% chance going forward, down from yesterday's 90%. The North Sea wind drives straight into the city and wind chill pushes the effective temperature 3 to 5 degrees below what the thermometer reads. Stay away from exposed coastal stretches. Dundee, 4.7 degrees, among the coldest readings in the country. 20% rain chance, down dramatically from yesterday's 85%. After a thoroughly sodden Sunday, Dundee is drying out. The Tay Road Bridge is exposed to strong winds tonight. Take particular care if driving across. Inverness, 5.2 degrees, 35% rain. Inverness sits at the northern end of Loch Ness, and moisture rising from the loch generates fog at night. The Great Glen Valleys will be especially misty overnight. If you are driving on the A82 along Loch Ness or any Highland roads, visibility may be significantly reduced. But the bigger story for Inverness is later this week, and I am about to tell you exactly what is coming. Wales. Cardiff is at 7.4 degrees with a 45% rain chance. The Bristol Channel creates a funneling effect, making winds stronger than inland. Cardiff Bay is catching brisk gusts tonight. The valleys to the north, the Rhondda, the Cynon, are colder with more mist. Swansea. 7.9 degrees, 40% rain. The Gower Peninsula cliffs are entirely unsuitable for outdoor activity tonight. If you had plans for a coastal walk, postpone them. Northern Ireland. Belfast is seeing clearer skies than most of the country, with broken cloud rather than solid overcast. But temperatures are low at 4.7 degrees. Light frost may develop overnight, especially around Cave Hill. Road surfaces may ice over by the early hours. And finally, Londonderry, the coldest spot in the entire United Kingdom tonight. 2.3 degrees, let that sink in. 2.3. The risk of frost and icy road surfaces is very real. The River Foyle running through the city is producing dense pockets of fog along the riverbanks. The Peace Bridge and the Craigavon Bridge may develop light surface icing. Reduce your speed when crossing. Now here is what I promised you at the 5-minute mark, the big reveal. What is coming later this week? Tuesday the 10th of February looks broadly similar to tonight. Overcast, scattered showers. Bristol and Cardiff may see rain probabilities climbing to between 65 and 75%. Wednesday the 11th, temperatures in the south edge up slightly. London could reach 12 degrees, but Scotland begins to cool noticeably. And then Thursday the 12th of February. This is the day to watch. A pulse of cold air is forecast to push down from the north. Temperatures across Scotland will drop sharply. Glasgow and Inverness face a real chance of seeing snow. The Highlands could see a white covering. If you are in Scotland, start preparing now, not Thursday. Now. Check your tyres, stock up on essentials. Make sure you have grit or salt for your paths and driveways. Let me summarise what you need to do tonight based on where you are. If you are in the south, London, Brighton, Oxford, Cambridge, a warm coat is enough. Rain risk is low. If you are in the southwest, Exeter, Truro, Cornwall, waterproofs are essential. 75% rain chance. Do not go out without protection. If you are in the north of England, Newcastle, Leeds, Sheffield, proper winter coat, gloves, scarf, and hat. It is colder than you think. If you are in Scotland, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Aberdeen, Inverness, bundle up tonight and start watching the Thursday forecast closely. Snow is a real possibility. If you are in Northern Ireland, especially Londonderry, watch for ice on the roads from the early hours. 2.3 degrees means frost is almost certain. Drop a comment below with your city or town. Tell me where you are watching from, and I will make sure your area gets detailed coverage in our next forecast. The more specific you are, the better I can help. And speaking of next time, our Tuesday forecast drops tomorrow, and here is why you cannot miss it. That cold front bringing potential snow to Scotland by Thursday. We are going to track its exact path, hour by hour. Which roads could be affected, which schools might close, which travel routes to avoid. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss it. Stay warm tonight, wherever you are across the United Kingdom. Weather changes fast in this country, but I will be right here to keep you